Okay, so I want to say it's been about 5 years or more since we got the announcement that they are in production for a Naruto live action film. Now, even me saying that gets me a little bit on edge because I gotta say, especially considering it's a Shonen Jump action series, immediately, as I always say, I go back to what horrified millions of people, and that is Dragon Ball Evolution. But we got some insight into the Naruto live action. It seems as though they are going forward with it, and I was gonna say finally, but I don't even know how I feel about finally, and it's just, I don't even know right now. Like, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say in panic mode, but it does get me a little bit, just a little bit worried after hearing some of what they're talking about for this Naruto live action film. I think we got some of the names of the writers or the writer on the project, and yeah, Naruto live action movie is actually a thing. Let's talk about it.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move.
That's how it be though. So it's funny, like, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago or so, maybe 3, I was on Twitter talking about, oh my gosh, I just thought of the inevitability that one day the Naruto live action film will come to fruition. It's only a matter of time. And then I see this article about the Naruto live action film and that they're moving forward with it, and they got writers and casting calls and all sorts of shit, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. No, man, I ain't gonna lie, like, don't get me wrong, there is always the possibility that it could be good. There's always the possibility that, you know, they could strike gold. I mean, there are some instances, very few and far between, but some instances of some good anime to live action adaptations, like the Rurouni Kenshin films. Those were pretty good. There's a few, and I always reference the Rurouni Kenshin films, but I know I just can't think of on the spot usually. There are a few good adaptation live action films, but again, majority of them usually suck, and we always go to the worst possibility, that is Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, that was a terrible adaptation. I mean, as a film on its own, as a film on its own, it sucked too. But again, we got the information right here. Let's read what's going on. What am I talking about, Fornev? What are you talking about? I'm about to read it right now so you guys can get an understanding of what got me a little bit worried right now regarding this Naruto live action film. I mean, is it the end of the world if the film comes out shitty? No, but it will suck because there's so much potential, right? Like, I look at the live action, Marvel universe and how they had all these films connected and how it was awesome, and, everybody loved it, and it pushed just these iconic characters to bigger heights, and everybody, like, there's so much possibilities and potential for Shonen Jump to do the same thing. I would freaking die for a really high quality Shonen Jump cinematic universe where it's like, let's just say we have a successful Naruto film, a successful Bleach film, a successful Dragon Ball film, if they ever decide to touch that again, which, by the way, quickly, while I'm on it, the Bleach live action film that was done in Japan was also a good film, so gotta note that as well. I was supposed to talk about it when it came out. I don't know why I never did, but it was a good one, honestly. The one on Netflix that went straight to Netflix, that was actually a really good film. But I would just go crazy if we just had like the inevitable crossovers after all of these successful films, and it's still possible, but there's just so much work that needs to be done, and we need to get a consistent stream of high quality live action films for that to ever even be possible. Let's read, and we'll talk some more right now. But Naruto live action movie surfaces with first casting details. Naruto surprised fans several years ago when its creator confirmed a live-action adaptation of the manga was coming from Hollywood, and it seems an update has gone live on the movie. It has been quite some time since the project has had any news to share, but according to industry scooper Daniel RPK, a casting call for Naruto has started circulating, and as it turns out, the movie is ready to cast some of its key roles. Okay, so before we get into it, I'm imagining if they're getting to the casting point, I would assume that they already have a script that they're confident about and ready to move forward with, right? Because, like, you gotta write and then be like, okay, this is the way the character is written, because obviously with adaptations, even though, like, you could have your ideal, oh man, this character looks like Naruto from the manga, whatever, they're going to write the characters in a little bit of a subtle change, hopefully a little bit, hopefully not drastic, but yeah, and then, you cast afterwards. So I'm guessing they already have a script that they're ready to go forward with. Okay, let's keep reading. The casting breakdown was shared exclusively by Daniel RPK on Patreon, and it was there the scooper shared the film's reported logline and current casting needs. It seems Lionsgate and Summit, which I want to say, yeah, Lionsgate was announced to be behind the Naruto film, are looking to find its leads for the anime adaptation, along with some teachers and a villain to top things off. Right there, I wonder who would be the villain for this Naruto live action film. Like, I highly doubt they're just going to adapt Zabuza. Like, I mean, if they did, that would be weird, honestly. Like, they could definitely stretch out like 3 films, 4 films, even if they go that route. Like, make Zabuza the first big villain of movie 1, Orochimaru the big villain of movie 2. Because to be honest with you, in this world, and again, I'm not comparing the characters, I'm just saying impact wise and notability and notoriety wise, Orochimaru would kind of be like, if we're comparing, let's just say they do the Naruto films similar to like the Batman trilogy from years ago. Like, you know how Batman Begins, Batman, what is it, Dark Knight Returns, and then Dark Knight Rises. Like, Orochimaru would kind of be like the Joker of this whole situation, because Orochimaru to this day, he's still somewhat relevant to the story, and we're like 10 billion episodes deep, chapters deep, and all of that jazz. So maybe they could do Zabuza for movie 1, Orochimaru for movie 2. I think, honestly, personally, if you really want to get a big swinging bang for it, cover Zabuza within like the first to second act, with introducing Orochimaru at some given point, and then make Orochimaru the big villain of all this. But again, I'm not sure, because like, how long is this film going to be? Is it going to be like 2 hours? Is it going to be an hour and a half? Is it going to be 3 hours? That definitely plays a crucial role on what you can do and how much can you play with. But either way, first question before we continue, who should be the main villain of this hypothetical, not even hypothetical because it's moving forward, who do you think is going to be the villain of the first Naruto live action film? Orochimaru, Zabuza? Imagine they just like threw everything out the window and just said, fuck it, we're gonna go with Pain. I'd be like, get this shit out of here. Pain should be like at the very earliest 3rd or 4th film, or maybe they do Naruto a trilogy, and then they do Shippuden trilogy, and somewhere Pain would be in the Shippuden trilogy. I'm just saying, like, that would be ridiculous to have Pain in the first film. So I'm going with Orochimaru. He's the most iconic from the original Naruto series, and when I think of it, that's the first villain that comes to my mind, right? So I'm gonna go with Orochimaru. Currently, A-Rad Productions is slated to produce the Naruto movie with picture start. There is no word on when the movie will begin filming, or where for that matter, as no budget has been decided upon. However, the casting call does say the film's current writer is Jonathan Levine, who's done 50/50 and Warm Bodies, which I went quickly because I wanted to do a little due diligence, and I checked out what Warm Bodies got on Rotten Tomatoes just to get an idea of what this guy, what the temperature is like regarding his name and what he's produced. And Warm Bodies, at the very least, the audience score was 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the tomato meter for, I guess, the critics was 81%. So that's not that bad, although I have seen some fans say that movie was shit. So I gotta be honest on both sides. I don't know if those fans were just, whatever the case may be, maybe they didn't like the film, or maybe it really was shit and Rotten Tomatoes got it wrong on that one. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. The previous writers were Erica and John Hober from The Meg. I've never even heard of The Meg, and that sounds like a terrible movie, but alright. Ari Arad will produce the movie along with studio executives Brady Fujikawa and James Myers, with Michael Gracie directing. As for the film's logline, the summary is basic, but it confirms the movie will focus on Naruto Uzumaki, who wishes to become a strong ninja, so no mention of Hokage in there, okay? You can read up on the blurb below, as well as the roles currently being cast for. It says, quote unquote, Naruto Uzumaki is a teenage ninja who dreams of becoming the community's leader and protector by becoming the village ninja. What? So it's no longer the Hokage, you're the village ninja? Like, that's what they're gonna change Hokage to? Like I mean, they could have come up with something so much better than the village ninja. I mean, for crying out loud, they're calling him a teenage ninja, so ninjas are a part of the community, right? And he wants to become the village ninja? I don't know. That just sounds so simple. I mean, I get it. You're not going to call it Hokage if you're going with Hollywood and you want to branch out and get different audiences excited, because they'd have a hard time understanding Hokage or accepting Hokage for that matter, which, I mean, there's like millions of people who would love it being called Hokage, just saying. But the village ninja? Alrighty then. And then here is what they're looking for in this casting call for the roles. For starters, we got 3 leads. They're looking for 2 male, 1 female between the ages of 14 to 18 and Asian. So let's go through that real quick. 2 male, 1 female. Clear as day for the 3 leads. They're talking about Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. They're looking between 14 to 18. And this one kind of threw me off because I did not expect for Hollywood to say they want Asian actors. I really thought that they were gonna just have everybody be white, so that kind of blew my freaking mind, which, hey, I am all aboard for that. Like, I have no problem with that at all. If anything, I think that's really dope. I mean, don't get me wrong, Naruto is blonde with blue eyes, so like it's kind of questionable what you would want to do with the character's race, but that kind of threw me for a loop. That's a shocking twist that they're actually looking for Asian actors for this film. I mean, for better or worse, at the very least, they're doing something different than the norm of Hollywood, where they just straight up like, everybody, it doesn't matter, Piccolo is straight white, you know what I'm saying? High school aged Asian teenage guys at the Ninja Academy. High school aged teenage guys at the Ninja Academy. Alright, so, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that kind of sounds a little worrisome. High school aged teenage guys at the Ninja Academy. Is there a high school in this one? Are they gonna... Because, you know, you think back to Dragon Ball where they put Goku in high school and shit like that, and it's like, please don't do that. Don't make it modernized and everything. Like, treat it like, you know, the source material. Like, they're in some unexplained time. It seems older, but they do have advanced technology. Like, you don't have to make it modernized where we're in 2020 or some shit. Like, 2 instructors supporting unknown Asian Academy instructors. So that also... the fact that they really are going forward with they want Asian actors is very, very intriguing. It definitely makes me curious as what the direction of the film is going to be in. I don't know. I'm actually like excited that they're deciding to do something different than the norm of what Hollywood does. I mean, there are some great films out there with Asian lead, you know, characters. Like Romeo Must Die just jumps out of my head right there. And of course, all the anime live action adaptations that were successful were created in Japan with Asian actors. Again, the Bleach one, awesome film. Rurouni Kenshin, awesome film. I heard the Gintama live action was awesome, so I ain't mad at it. 2 instructors. I'm definitely assuming one of them is Kakashi. Maybe the other one is Aruka. And I wonder how they're gonna handle the names, because Naruto has a lot of, like, you know, Japanese names and whatnot. Like, are they gonna just straight up say, well, Kakashi is not that hard, like, you know, okay, call him Kakashi, but like Aruka, I don't know if they're gonna go with Aruka or just like, hey, you know what, we're gonna call him Josh, like, oh god. But then again, if they're going with Asian, maybe they're straight up going like a full-on Asian, everything, they're keeping it intact with the names and all of that stuff, which again would be good. Villain supporting unknown Asian. Again, Asian, which 1 villain. So, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Orochimaru, but they could go Zabuza. And I wouldn't be mad if it's Zabuza. It's not like I'm saying Zabuza was weak by any means. That material was great. But as far as like for an epic cinematic feel, no, actually, yeah. Even they could make it work, honestly, especially with Zabuza. But the thing is, they said supporting unknown Asian for the villain. Wouldn't they make it, if anything, if it was Zabuza, because you also got to have Haku? Wouldn't they have 2 of them? There's a thought there. This live-action adaptation was announced several years back by Naruto's creator Masashi Kishimoto during Jump Fest, and the artist was confident in the adaptation at the time. These days, little word has been shared on the live-action adaptation, but this casting call proves plans are still underway on the project. And with Netflix pursuing its own big-name adaptations of One Piece and Cowboy Bebop, anime fans better get used to seeing their favorite series touted around Hollywood. So, very, very interesting stuff. They're going with a more Asian-centric cast. Very different from the norm when they do these adaptations. That's interesting. Which also makes me wonder what's going to happen when they do the One Piece casting. Are they going to have Asian actors for that too? That'd be dope. Although with One Piece is a little different because Oda has already stated what the race of these characters would be, their ethnicity and whatnot. So they could play around with that. With Naruto, is like, these are ninjas that are like in Japan, but Naruto kind of looks like he's white or Caucasian. So I don't know. Curious what you guys think about all this information we got. Do you think that they're gonna do like a high school, you know? This is a modern day high school with these dudes that want to be ninja. Also, it's weird that they're going with Asians, but they don't mention anything about him wanting to be Hokage. Is it just because this is a casting call, so they don't want to confuse people that aren't familiar with the source material and scare people away from that, from trying out? And how do you think this film is going to play out? To be honest with you, for some reason with this one, and I try to be optimistic with a lot of these, you know, announcements and shit. For this one, I'm scared, despite their attempts at getting Asian actors, again, breaking away from the norm. I'm scared to death that they're gonna Dragon Ball Evolution this, and the reason probably is because Naruto is a lot closer to like being a Dragon Ball in the West than most other properties, and we know what happened with Dragon Ball. So your thoughts and expectations for this film, I'll be real. And I hope I'm proven wrong. If I'm proven wrong, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna be very, very ecstatic. I'm expecting a total train wreck and absolute trash. I just gotta be honest with you. Prove me wrong. We'll see how it goes. Again, they're doing something different with the casting, so there's that. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, please drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. You get all my videos. I talk about all sorts of wide variety of anime, manga, probably some of, if not all of your favorites. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, I got Twitter, Instagram, all of that jazz. Definitely take a look. Links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and on board for this potential train wreck. The infinite train to disaster. Naruto live-action Hollywood film. Lego.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace.